Hi, friends. Taffy here. So this month is my favorite month of all. October. Halloween. I grew up with three brothers, and Halloween was always a big deal in my household. My mother used to dress up as a witch and get up on top of the roof and scare the hell out of the neighbor kids. Of course, all the neighbors thought my mom was a real witch, and everybody was afraid of her. My brothers loved to scare the hell out of me, torment me, whatnot. But yeah, Halloween was always our biggest holiday, our biggest, yeah, I mean, we had incredible Halloweens. We do seances and whatnot. But since last year, now October, still my favorite month. Halloween's still my favorite. But now October is also a sad month for me. Last year, October 22nd, I got a phone call about 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was my brother, one of my oldest brothers. And I thought he was just drunk, but he wasn't. He informed me that my favorite nephew, his son, was killed in a car accident. Originally, they thought that my nephew and his buddy he was with were drinking and driving, reckless driving, but they weren't. The guy in the other car, however, was speeding and, come around a corner and T-boned them, killing them both instantly. The two boys were on their way to see the driver's brother who was home on leave, had been in the military, and so it's very emotional for me. I love my nephew and I miss him terribly. And, at one point when he was a kid, he came to stay with me for a while his dad and stepmom went to Hawaii. So I got really close with him, and my daughters were also very close with him. And Dylan, we love you and we miss you every day, every day. But Dylan also loved Halloween. He also loved October. So I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm going to celebrate it as best I can, more so than ever, in honor of my nephew Dylan. But I would also like to, since it's October, I would also like to talk Halloween movies. My favorites, some that are cheesy, lame. And there's one, I wish I could remember the name of it. I watched it was, oh my gosh, back in the 90s. And it was the dumbest, cheesiest movie. And I've never been able to get it out of my head. But every once in a while, I'll see something that reminds me of that movie. And it completely grosses me out. More so than Human Centipede. That's a whole nother story. Yeah, this movie, it was about some sort of, I don't know, creature or parasite that gets into your body and it grows and then it gives birth to itself by coming out of your mouth, and it looks like you're spitting out your heart. The acting was so bad. It was, I don't even know how I made it halfway through that movie. It was so stupid. My favorite movie, and a lot of you know, my favorite movie of all time is Donnie Darko. Of course, I have that tattooed on my arm in reference to Donnie Darko. I'm eventually going to get Frank. If you know anything about Donnie Darko, if you don't, Donnie Darko is a schizophrenic who has visions and discovers time travel, or discovers that he can time travel through corresponding with a 6-foot giant bunny rabbit named Frank. And so eventually I'm going to get Frank tattooed, probably right here on my arm. But yeah, Donnie, if you have not seen Donnie Darko, you really need to see it. It is such a good movie. I bought the DVD and then stuck it in my DVD collection. I tried to watch it, but at the time, my daughters were really small. They were toddlers, so it was really hard to watch an entire movie without being interrupted. It took me probably, I had stuck the movie Donnie Darko in my DVD collection and left it there for, I want to say, maybe 5 or 6 years before I actually pulled it out and really watched it. And once I did really watch it, I'm sitting there going, wow, why did I put this off? It's such a good movie. There's would you call it a sequel to Donnie Darko, the S Darko?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sequel. It's called S Darko. And it's stupid. It's a turd, yeah. It's hard to follow. It just it makes no sense. But it's about Donnie Darko's younger sister when she's older. It's really a stupid movie. Another one of my favorites is, of course, the original John Carpenter's Halloween. Love Michael Myers. I love Michael Myers. That is, and Jamie Lee Curtis. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I wasn't overly thrilled about Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween, although I do like it. I do watch it, but it's not like, oh, we have to watch it. I think it's vulgar. I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for, but yeah, the original was so much better. Another one of my favorite movies, and I don't watch it very often, even though I do own it on DVD, is Pumpkinhead. I really like Pumpkinhead. You know, a lot of these movies, the other movies that follow them, like, you know, oh, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, that's another one. Halloween 3, it's another turd. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the original Halloween. Because there you go, Halloween 2, and then Halloween 3. It's about, you know, this company controlling people through these computer chips in the Halloween masks. It has nothing to do with Michael Myers. You know, Halloween 2 picks up where the original Halloween left off. And, you know, it was okay. It wasn't great. You know, of course, the whole thing takes place in a hospital, which I didn't really like that. You know, what's a good, scary Halloween movie without a creepy house? And then, of course, there's the newer movies, like Mama. I like Mama. And the Conjuring movies, I really like the Conjuring movies. The first one, movies don't usually spook me. The first Conjuring had so many jump scares, and I would get startled. And but I really liked the Conjuring, and Conjuring 2 was pretty good. And then there's turd movies like what is it, Babadook, or
Yeah, the Babadook.
The Babadook.
It was okay.
That was stupid. Stupid. Lame movie. Um, oh my gosh, there's so many. And I can't remember them all. And I'm constantly watching horror movies. Constantly.
Like 90% of the stuff that comes out of Redbox.
Turds. And I like a lot of the movies made about serial killers. I really like watching movies about serial killers. Yeah, I also love Stephen King movies. I have not seen the It remake yet. I want to. I'm skeptical about it. Uh, because they remade The Shining, and that was a fail. I mean, that the remake of The Shining just was, I didn't like it. Of course, The Shining is one of my favorite Stephen King movies. Well, they're all my favorite. I love Stephen King. I've read a lot of the books before seeing a lot of the movies, but like Christine, love Christine. I wasn't real thrilled about Cujo, partly because when I was, I want to say 7 or 8 years old, we had our next door neighbor had a 4-year-old daughter, and they had a Saint Bernard, and I came home from somewhere. I don't know if I was at school. I can't remember. I came home from somewhere, and the police had the road all blocked off and everything. We used to go next door and play with this dog. We would ride this dog like a pony. And this dog was so sweet. He was just the most lovable dog. And I don't know if the dog got rabies or what happened, but the day I came home and the police were there, there was fire trucks, ambulance, and I could see this little girl's parents just screaming and whatnot. Apparently, the dog had went crazy and killed the little girl, and that was really devastating. I had nightmares for a long, long time over that, because she was my friend, and we were over there almost every day playing with that dog. So yeah, Cujo was a hard one for me to watch. Pet Cemetery. Oh my gosh. I had moved from Washington back to Oregon, so I had just started working at Lebanon Hospital as a CNA and was looking for my own apartment. But in the meantime, I was staying with my parents, and I was living in the basement because that's the only room they had for me was in the basement. And my boyfriend took me to see Pet Cemetery in the theater. I come home, no problem. I wasn't scared, whatever, it's just another scary movie. Yeah, until about 1 o'clock in the morning, my cat had crawled under my blanket, and apparently I kicked my cat or nudged it or something, but pissed him off, and he bit my foot. And I lift the blankets up like this, and I'm looking under, and all I could see is the glowy red eyes and him growling at me. And I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. Scared the crap out of me. Because I had just got done watching Pet Cemetery. So I was a little freaked out. I do have some Stephen King movies that I'm not real thrilled about. Like Cujo. I wasn't really impressed with that one, partly because of my experience. Then there's the Tommyknockers. I wasn't real thrilled about that. I never really got into the Tommyknockers, but like I really liked Storm of the Century. That was a good one. And Needful Things. I really liked that one. That one was good. So yeah, another Stephen King movie that, and it's weird because it was really cheesy and the acting was really bad acting. But I liked the movie. I mean, it had a good storyline, and I think if they had the right actors and they did, better special effects, it would have been a lot better. But it's the Langoliers. Um, yeah, the acting. I can't get over how bad the acting was. Um, but and then there's Dolores Claiborne. That was a good one. I really liked that one. But totally off the movie subject, I have to bring up Game of Thrones. My boyfriend keeps hounding me to talk about the Game of Thrones. I think he's more excited than I am for season 8 to come out. But we finally got caught up the other night. We finally finished off season 7. And yeah, I think the more entertainment he got was laughing at me being stressed, because it was, oh my god, it was a stressful season. you know it just, I was so stressed. But yeah, we're looking forward to season 8, yeah, to come out on Game of Thrones. I can't wait for the day that they kill off Cersei. I can't stand that woman.
And that stupid thing she does with her eyebrow.
What?
She always cocks that one eyebrow up, and it's like.
My mom used to do that.
Well, it's cool when she does it, but when Cersei does it, it's stupid.
No, it wasn't cool when my mom did it, because every time my mom did it, you knew you were in trouble. Watch for the eyebrow. But with October being here now, there's all kinds of good shows coming on, movies, and but honestly, they don't make horror movies like they used to. I still like all the old, like the Universal monsters, all the older stuff. I do like a lot of the newer stuff.
It's not a whole hell of a lot.
Rob Zombie.
Oh, yeah. It's been more miss than hit, except for the.
Yeah, some of Rob Zombie stuff is okay. Especially if you really like the gory, real bloody gory. The House of a Thousand Corpses. I like that.
Devil's Rejects.
The Devil's Rejects. I don't. What was it? That
Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem.
No.
No, I didn't like that. I thought it was stupid. And 31 was okay. It could have been better. But with 31, I felt like that was kind of a somewhat of a copycat of Hostel. You know what I'm saying?
Where it's like elites coming to capitalize on torturing people.
Yeah, they kidnap and torture people, just because they can. But
well, it's kind of the same with House of a Thousand Corpses, except they're rednecks.
True, but yeah, what was that? My boyfriend took me last weekend to a museum here in Portland. We took the bus and we're walking, and he says, "Oh, it's in somebody's house." I'm like, "Really? We're going to a weird, unusual gallery, art museum type thing in somebody's house? Have you not watched enough horror movies?" Go into somebody's house? Nah, I'm not comfortable with that
All
one.
the more reason it'll be even cooler.
Yeah, and it was a really bizarre museum. The way I saw it was, oh, okay, everybody's got their own opinions. Some people call it art. I call it somebody cleaned up their yard and wadded up yard debris and stuck it in a case and call it art. My boyfriend's all, well, they made it. They put their heart and their soul into making it. That's art. Okay, so I put my heart and soul into taking a shit. Does that mean it's art? No. But this museum, it was, to him, it was exciting. He liked it. He enjoyed it. Other than my anxiety, it was in this guy's garage, and it was very tight quarters. It was in a small room, and there were quite a few people. I don't do well with a lot of people, especially if it's so small, so confined. You're smelling other people's breath. You know, the way they had it set up was you go up the stairs and you're in this room, and then they have stuff along this wall, around this way, and this way, and this way. And then right in the center is other stuff to see, other displays. You could not get, and the people were rude. You know, excuse me, you're totally ignored. Excuse me, you're totally ignored. You can't get around either way, because I would try to go this way, and here's this couple, taking up all the space. You can't get around them. So I went back and I tried to go around this way. Well, then there's like 3 or 4 girls, blocking that way. So you couldn't get around to see the other stuff. And of course, I had to apologize to my boyfriend. I can't do this. I'll be waiting outside. Take your time, whatever. So I went outside to sit, and it wasn't long and he came out, but I didn't see that so much as art, because basically what it was sticks and leaves and, bits and pieces of other little plant material, just kind of all wadded up and glued together. Some of them had googly eyes, and to me, that's not art. Art is like sculptures and beautiful paintings, and I see photography as art. But when somebody cleans up their yard and decides to display what they have cleaned up out of their yard, that to me is boring. um, the most interesting thing that I did see in the museum was somebody took a little plastic lizard and put a little plastic skull on this lizard body. That's art. But yeah, it's. I would rather go to the I can never say this word right. My boyfriend laughs at me. Peculiarium. Did I say it right?
Close enough.
You say it.
Peculiarium.
Okay. Which is a museum in Portland, and they've got some really neat stuff. They have, I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have like a zombie room, and it's this tiny little room. You go inside, and people standing outside the room can watch you on video, but you go in and you hear the sirens, and like the world's coming to an end. And then the lights are all flashing, and it looks like when you're in this room, it looks like you're inside of a bloody brain. It's all red, and it looks like a bloody brain. Basically, I guess that's what it's supposed to look like or simulate or whatever, but they have a TV screen, and you watch on that TV screen that talks about, what a zombie is and what the process of becoming a zombie is, and it's really interesting, really neat. They have this big stuffed Bigfoot, and how tall would you say he is? 10, 12 feet?
Something like that.
Yeah, he's really big, really cool looking. But they also have like an ice cream, a little ice cream bar type thing. You can order ice cream, but with your ice cream, you get crickets, mealworms, ants. You get all these edible bugs. And if you eat a whole ice cream with all these bugs in it, oh, you get your picture taken and posted. They have, and they have art from local artists, which to me is art, but it's little sculptures of these creepy little figures. And what else?
They change up their display once in a while.
Yeah, they're always changing their display.
Gift shop.
Oh, they have a haunted dollhouse in there, and I don't know if I get the story right, but I mean you can look it up and find out for yourself. But they have, uh, somebody had went to a yard sale, and they had this big like Victorian dollhouse, and it didn't sell, it didn't sell, it didn't sell. So they stuck it along curbside with a sign on it that says free. And I guess one of the owners of the Peculiarium found it and took it home. And it turns out that was haunted by a cat or
Yeah.
anyway, anybody that sticks their hand inside this dollhouse for any reason, you pull your hand out and you got all these cat scratches on your hand. So they have it all closed up in a glass case. I wish I had the pictures. They're on my old phone, but I have pictures of the dollhouse. They had taken the dollhouse and remodeled it, and all of the rooms are done in like horror scenes. Like there's a dead body in the bathroom and there's blood everywhere, and it's I don't know, it's like a bloody massacre in this dollhouse. But it's really interesting. If you get the chance, you should look up the story on the dollhouse. And then they have like their little secondhand shop right there inside their museum where you could purchase just random weird stuff. And then of course their little gift shop where that's where I buy. My house is decorated in skulls, coffins, bats, creepy Halloween stuff. And yeah, I guess kind of like the monsters, I have all this weird stuff. And so even my bathroom is decorated in skulls. And I've looked and looked and looked everywhere for skull-shaped soaps, little decorative skull-shaped soaps. That's a mouthful. But that's the only place I've been able to find the skull-shaped soaps is at the Peculiarium. So if you're in Portland and you want something fun to do, or need somewhere to check out, look up the Peculiarium and look up the story about the dollhouse. It's really cool. So anyway, on that note, I won't be working at the haunted house Halloween night. I had made a promise to 4 nephews that I would decorate their house and I would help them scare kids Halloween night at their house. So that's what I'll be doing. But I will be videotaping. I may possibly do a live broadcast Halloween night. I will be getting to the other videos, Witch's Castle, getting together with Claire Brooksbank, getting together with Scott Campbell, and Tom Tom Gill at the Ghoul Gallery. Stay tuned. Those are going to be much more interesting videos, and we'll actually get out and about. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My Facebook is more active than Twitter and Instagram, so I don't know. Check me out on Facebook. And almost forgot Taffy's word of the day. You know, you guys can comment, come up with some good Taffy's word of the day. They have to be gnarly, they have to be good, they have to be gross. So, I think Taffy's word of the day is gonna be, tonight is gonna be Gog's word of the day.
Smegma.
That's not a word.
It is a word.
That's not a word.
It is a word. I'll look it up. I'll show it to you.
That is not a word. Smegma.
It's a word.
That's not a word.
Do I need to stop the video?
Taffy's word of the day. Rusty. Anyway, happy nightmares. Love you.